Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Thomas, and today we'll be discussing a topic that has transformed the way we connect, communicate, and live: the influence of social media on daily life.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer. Social media plays a massive role in how we interact, share ideas, and even shape our opinions. Whether you use it for work, staying in touch, or entertainment, its impact is undeniable. Let's explore this fascinating topic together. Social media has changed how we communicate. It allows us to stay in touch with friends and family no matter where they are. Platforms like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger make it easy to send a quick message or even have a video chat in real time.
That's true, Jennifer. It has also made communication faster and more accessible. However, this convenience has led to shorter attention spans and a shift from deep, meaningful conversations to quick exchanges of emojis, memes, or short texts.
You're right, Thomas. On the bright side, social media allows us to share our lives through photos, videos, and updates. It's a great way to stay connected. But it's also important to ensure we don't replace real-life interactions with virtual ones entirely.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Another aspect is how it affects our ability to express ourselves. Social media has given everyone a platform, but sometimes this can lead to misunderstandings or conflicts due to the lack of facial expressions and tone in text-based communication.
That's an important point, Thomas. The anonymity of social media also encourages some people to say things they wouldn't say in person. This can lead to bullying or negativity. We need to use these platforms responsibly and promote kindness.
Yes, Jennifer, on the positive side, social media has helped introverts or shy people communicate more freely. It offers a space where they can express themselves without the pressure of face-to-face interactions, which can be empowering. I agree, Thomas. It's also a tool for learning new languages, staying updated on global events, and networking professionally. Apps like LinkedIn have made it easier than ever to connect with professionals around the world and learn from them. That's true, Jennifer. While the benefits are clear, we must also consider setting boundaries. Spending too much time on social media can lead to a loss of focus in real-life relationships and responsibilities. Striking a balance is key.
Social media can influence our mental health in significant ways. On one hand, it connects us with loved ones and like-minded communities, creating a sense of belonging. On the other, constantly seeing curated highlights of others' lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy or low self-esteem.
That's an excellent observation, Jennifer. The concept of social comparison plays a big role here. When we scroll through posts showing vacations, achievements, or perfect lifestyles, we might feel like we're not doing enough. It's important to remember that social media often shows the best, not the whole story.
Exactly, Thomas. Another concern is the addictive nature of social media. Platforms are designed to keep us scrolling with endless feeds and notifications. This can lead to hours of screen time, affecting sleep, productivity, and overall mental well-being if not managed carefully.
And let's not forget the rise of FOMO, or fear of missing out. Social media shows us events, trends, or experiences we're not a part of, which can create anxiety. Learning to focus on our own lives and experiences is essential for maintaining balance.
That's true, but it's not all negative. Social media has also provided a platform for mental health awareness. Accounts dedicated to mindfulness, self-care tips, and mental health advocacy can be a source of inspiration and guidance for users worldwide.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Many people have found supportive communities online where they can share their struggles and find comfort. For example, forums or groups for anxiety or depression can make individuals feel less alone in their journey.
I completely agree. However, we should also be aware of misinformation. Sometimes people share unverified mental health advice, which can do more harm than good. It's crucial to follow credible sources and consult professionals when needed.
Great point. Another aspect is cyberbullying. Social media can be a breeding ground for negativity, where people feel free to attack others anonymously. This can have a devastating impact on mental health, especially for younger users who are still building their confidence.
Yes, and it's essential to talk about setting boundaries. For instance, limiting screen time, unfollowing accounts that trigger negative feelings, or taking social media detoxes can help create a healthier relationship with these platforms.
Absolutely, practicing mindfulness while using social media can also help. Ask yourself why you're logging and are you looking to connect, learn something new, or just passing time? Being intentional can help reduce mindless scrolling and its effects.
And don't forget about gratitude. Instead of focusing on what others have, focus on what you're thankful for in your own life. Practicing gratitude can shift your mindset from comparison to appreciation, making your social media experience more positive.
That's a great suggestion, Jennifer. Another helpful tip is curating your feed. Follow accounts that inspire you or bring joy. For instance, you could follow travel bloggers, educational content, or even pages dedicated to hobbies you enjoy.
Yes, Thomas, engaging actively instead of passively scrolling can also make a difference. Commenting, starting meaningful conversations, or sharing your own content helps you use social media as a tool for connection rather than just consumption.
Exactly, Jennifer, and don't underestimate the power of real-life connections. While social media has its place, nothing can replace face-to-face interactions. Prioritizing offline relationships helps you maintain a balance and keeps you grounded.
I agree. And let's also discuss the impact of filters and editing. They create unrealistic beauty standards, especially for younger users. Encouraging authenticity and reminding ourselves that everyone has flaws can help combat the pressure to look perfect.
Yes, Jennifer, it's about being kind to ourselves and others. When we post, we should aim to inspire and uplift, not to compete or impress. Positive interactions on social media can make it a healthier space for everyone.
That's a great takeaway. Lastly, remember to step away when needed. If social media starts to feel overwhelming, take a break. Reconnect with nature, read a book, or spend time with friends and family. Mental health should always come first.
Well said, Jennifer. Social media is a powerful tool, but it's up to us to use it wisely. By being mindful of our habits and prioritizing our well-being, we can enjoy the benefits while minimizing the downsides. Balance is truly the key.
In today's world, social media has become a powerful tool in shaping public opinion. Platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram give individuals and groups a voice, enabling them to spread messages to a global audience. Whether it's social justice movements or political campaigns, social media allows people to mobilize quickly and efficiently.
Exactly, Jennifer. Social media has democratized the flow of information. It's no longer just news outlets or politicians who can shape opinions. Every individual now has the power to share their views and potentially influence millions. However, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's true, Thomas. While social media can spread awareness about important causes, it also opens the door to misinformation and fake news. With the rise of algorithms that promote sensational content, it's easy for misleading or even harmful information to go viral.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Fake news is a huge issue. A story that's emotionally charged or scandalous is more likely to be shared, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. This has made it harder for people to discern what's reliable and what's not. The spread of misinformation is dangerous.
That's a very important point, Thomas. However, there's also the danger of slacktivism, where people show support online but don't take any real action in the real world. Liking a post or sharing a hashtag doesn't always translate into meaningful change.
Yes, Jennifer, it's crucial to go beyond the digital world and engage in offline action. Attending rallies, volunteering, and contacting local representatives are just as important. Social media should be the catalyst for real-world activism, not the end goal itself.
Another interesting effect of social media is the way it amplifies echo chambers. People tend to follow accounts that align with their existing views, which means they're often exposed only to information that confirms their beliefs. This can deepen divisions and make it harder to understand opposing perspectives.
That's a big concern. When everyone you follow agrees with you, you're not challenged to think critically or consider different viewpoints. This can reinforce biases and make it harder to have open, constructive debates. Social media has made it easier to live in ideological bubbles.
Exactly, Thomas. To combat this, it's important to diversify the accounts you follow and actively seek out diverse opinions. Engaging in conversations with people who have different perspectives can help us become more well-rounded and informed individuals.
Great point, Jennifer. Social media also affects the speed at which public opinion can shift. Something can go viral in a matter of hours, and an idea or trend can spread to millions instantly. This rapid spread of information can have both positive and negative consequences, depending on the content.
That's right. On one hand, it allows for quick awareness and support for urgent causes. On the other hand, the rush to go viral can sometimes lead to the spread of unverified or shallow content that doesn't provide the full picture. Social media doesn't always allow for deep reflection.
It's all about balance, Jennifer. Ideally, social media would be a place where people can engage in thoughtful discussions, share ideas, and learn from one another. But with the pressure to get attention and likes, many people are now more focused on the quick hit of viral content than on providing substance.
And let's not forget the role of influencers. Social media influencers have gained significant power in shaping opinions. They can sway their followers' decisions on everything from purchasing products to political beliefs. With so many people looking up to them, their influence can be both a blessing and a curse.
That's a fascinating point, Jennifer. Influencers have become the new celebrities, and their reach is unparalleled. However, there's a fine line between authentic recommendations and those that are driven by sponsorships or personal gain. It's important for followers to be aware of this dynamic.
Absolutely. The advertising on social media can also be very subtle. Influencers may promote a product or an idea without it being immediately obvious that they're being paid for it. It's essential to be mindful of the fact that some opinions are shaped by commercial interests.
That's why transparency is key. Influencers need to disclose when they're sponsored, and followers should be aware of the potential for bias in what they see. As users, we must educate ourselves on how to differentiate between genuine content and paid promotions.
That's a good point, Thomas. Social media can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can be used to promote awareness and bring about change. But on the other hand, it can also be used to manipulate opinions or deceive people. It's up to us to use it responsibly.
Exactly. We all play a role in shaping how social media influences society. By being mindful, critical, and responsible in our use of these platforms, we can help steer the conversation in positive, constructive directions. Social media has immense potential. It's all about how we choose to use it.
As we look to the future of social media, we see rapid changes in how these platforms evolve and shape our world. The increasing use of artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and virtual reality could completely transform how we interact online. These technologies may allow us to create more immersive and interactive online experiences.
That's right, Jennifer. We're already seeing glimpses of this future with features like Instagram's AR filters or Facebook's Horizon workrooms. Soon, virtual spaces where we can work, socialize, and shop might become the norm. It's exciting, but we have to consider the impact it will have on our daily lives.
Exactly, Thomas. These technological advancements are likely to blur the lines between the real and virtual worlds. This could lead to more opportunities for connection, but it might also make it harder for people to distinguish between authentic interactions and artificial experiences.
Yes, and we must also consider the implications for privacy. With virtual reality and AI becoming more integrated into social media, data collection will reach new heights. It's important to be cautious about how our personal information is used and to demand better protection from companies.
Privacy is already a major concern, Thomas. As we share more personal data on social media, the potential for breaches or misuse grows. Social media platforms must be held accountable for securing user data, and users should be educated about the risks of oversharing information.
Another factor is the rise of influencer culture, which has become a dominant force on social media. Influencers wield significant power over their followers, shaping opinions on everything from fashion to politics. As this trend grows, it raises questions about authenticity and the responsibility influencers bear in influencing large audiences.
That's a great point, Thomas. Influencers are often seen as relatable figures, but their content is frequently sponsored or carefully curated. This can create unrealistic expectations for their followers, especially when it comes to lifestyle, beauty, or even mental health. The pressure to be perfect is immense.
True. Jennifer, social media has become a space where the lines between advertising and personal content are often blurred. Users are bombarded with ads disguised as genuine content, and it can be challenging to separate what's authentic from what's promotional. This raises ethical questions.
Yes, and another major trend we're seeing is the growing importance of video content. Platforms like TikTok and YouTube are becoming increasingly popular because they allow for more dynamic, engaging forms of communication. Short-form videos have become a primary mode of expression for users worldwide.
Right. Jennifer, this shift toward video content reflects the human desire for more visual and immersive experiences. Video allows for greater expression and storytelling, whether it's a funny clip, an educational tutorial, or a heartfelt personal message. It's also more interactive, which increases engagement.
That's a great point, Thomas. As video content dominates, we're also seeing the rise of live streaming. Platforms like Twitch or Instagram Live allow people to interact in real time, creating a sense of immediacy and connection that pre-recorded content doesn't offer. It's a whole new level of social media interaction.
Absolutely. Live streaming is revolutionizing how we experience social media. Whether it's for gaming, business webinars, or just casual chats, the real-time nature makes everything feel more authentic. It gives followers a sense of being present and involved in the moment, which builds deeper connections.
With all of these innovations, it's also important to consider the growing issue of digital addiction. Social media is designed to be addictive, with constant notifications and the endless scroll. Over time, this can have serious effects on our mental health, productivity, and relationships.
That's a major concern, Jennifer. While social media offers incredible opportunities, its addictive nature cannot be overlooked. People can easily lose track of time, spending hours scrolling without realizing the impact it has on their lives. Balancing screen time with offline activities is crucial.
Exactly. One way to combat digital addiction is by setting intentional boundaries. Whether it's scheduling social media free time or turning off notifications, being mindful of our usage can help create a healthier relationship with these platforms. We must reclaim control over how we use social media.
Right, Jennifer. It's also important for platforms to take responsibility for the impact they have on users. Many social media companies are now facing pressure to implement more robust policies to reduce addiction, increase transparency, and protect users' well-being. It's a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. There's also the role of social media in politics and democracy. Social platforms have been used for everything from spreading political ideologies to influencing elections. The question is, how do we ensure that these platforms are not used to manipulate or misinform voters?
That's a very important point. Social media's power to shape public opinion can be used for both good and bad purposes. Ensuring that social platforms are transparent in their practices and hold themselves accountable for the content they promote is key to maintaining a fair democratic process.
Yes, and one potential solution is increasing digital literacy. If users are more educated about how social media algorithms work and how to spot fake news, they'll be less susceptible to manipulation. This would empower people to make informed decisions about the content they consume.
Exactly, Jennifer. Educating people on how to critically evaluate content is one of the most effective ways to combat misinformation. Schools, communities, and even social media platforms themselves have a role to play in promoting digital literacy.
It's also important to consider the environmental impact of social media. With the increase in video content, live streaming, and overall usage, the energy consumption of data centers has skyrocketed. This raises concerns about the environmental cost of our digital habits.
Yes, Jennifer, the environmental footprint of social media is something many don't think about. The energy used to power servers, process data, and maintain these platforms is substantial. As users, we need to be aware of how our digital consumption affects the planet.
One way to reduce our environmental impact is by being mindful of how we use these platforms. For example, reducing the amount of data we consume by limiting video streaming or deleting unnecessary apps can help reduce our carbon footprint. Every small action counts.
Exactly. It's essential that we all consider the long-term effects of our digital behavior. As social media continues to evolve, we have an opportunity to shape it in a way that benefits not only individuals but also society and the planet as a whole.
Social media has become a powerful tool for spreading awareness about mental health. Many individuals and organizations use platforms like Instagram and Twitter to share resources, personal stories, and support for those struggling. This has helped break the stigma around discussing mental health openly.
You're absolutely right, Jennifer. Social media has created spaces where people feel less alone in their struggles. Online communities provide a sense of belonging, especially for individuals who may not have access to mental health resources locally. It's inspiring to see people supporting each other virtually.
Yes, and these platforms have also made professional help more accessible. Many mental health professionals now offer online counseling services or share free tips and advice on social media. This has made mental health care more approachable and less intimidating for many people.
That's true, but there's also a downside. While social media can be a source of support, it can also contribute to anxiety and depression. The constant comparison to others' seemingly perfect lives can make people feel inadequate. It's a double-edged sword we must navigate carefully.
Absolutely, Thomas. The highlight reel culture of social media often creates unrealistic expectations. People rarely share their failures or struggles, which can lead to feelings of isolation for those who don't realize they're only seeing a curated version of reality.
Exactly. That's why it's crucial to follow accounts that promote positivity and authenticity. Many influencers and creators are now embracing vulnerability by sharing their real-life challenges. This shift toward honesty is refreshing and can inspire others to do the same.
Yes, and there's also the role of algorithms. They can either help or harm our mental health depending on what content we engage with. If we interact with uplifting and educational posts, we're more likely to see similar content. But engaging with negative or toxic material can have the opposite effect.
That's an excellent point. Algorithms are designed to keep us engaged, but they don't always prioritize what's best for our mental well-being. Being mindful of what we like, share, and comment on can help us create a healthier online environment for ourselves.
Another factor to consider is the impact of social media on younger audiences. Teenagers, in particular, are heavily influenced by what they see online. The pressure to fit in or look a certain way can lead to issues like low self-esteem, eating disorders, or cyberbullying.
And that's where education comes in, Jennifer. Parents, schools, and communities need to teach young people how to use social media responsibly. Encouraging open conversations about the realities of online life can empower teens to navigate these challenges more confidently.
Exactly, Thomas. Digital literacy programs are essential. They can teach kids and teens how to identify harmful content, set boundaries, and understand the impact of their own posts. When young users are equipped with these skills, they're less likely to fall into unhealthy patterns.
Another solution is promoting a balance between online and offline life. Encouraging activities like sports, hobbies, and face-to-face interactions can help reduce reliance on social media. A well-rounded lifestyle is key to maintaining mental health in today's digital age.
That's a great point, Thomas. Setting screen time limits or having social media-free days can also make a big difference. These practices allow people to focus on real-life connections and recharge mentally, which is crucial for overall well-being.
Absolutely. It's also important for platforms to take responsibility. Features like time reminders or tools that track screen time can help users manage their habits. Some apps already offer these options, but more widespread implementation could benefit everyone.
Yes, and let's not forget the power of storytelling on social media. When people share their personal mental health journeys, it can inspire others to seek help or open up about their own experiences. Storytelling humanizes these struggles and builds a sense of community.
I agree. Jennifer, stories are incredibly impactful. Whether it's a post, a video, or a live stream, sharing experiences allows others to feel seen and understood. It reminds us that we're not alone, which can be a powerful motivator for positive change.
Another advantage is the rise of mental health challenges or campaigns on social media. Hashtags like hashtag mental health awareness or hashtag it gets better have brought global attention to these issues. They encourage people to share their stories and support one another.
Yes, these campaigns show the strength of collective action. When millions of voices come together, they can spark real-world change, from influencing policies to inspiring new support networks. Social media has the potential to be a catalyst for positive transformation.
Of course, the challenge lies in striking a balance. While social media offers incredible opportunities for mental health advocacy, it's crucial to address its drawbacks. By fostering a culture of empathy and understanding, we can maximize the benefits while minimizing the harm.
Exactly, Jennifer. Social media isn't going anywhere, so learning to use it in ways that enrich our lives is essential. Whether it's spreading awareness, building connections, or finding inspiration, the key is to approach it mindfully and intentionally.
Social media has drastically transformed how we form and maintain relationships. On one hand, it has made it easier to connect with others, especially those far away. But on the other hand, it can contribute to superficial connections that lack depth. Many users prioritize online interactions over in-person relationships, which can affect the quality of social bonds.
That's right, Jennifer. Online communication lacks the nuances of face-to-face interactions, such as body language and tone of voice, which are essential in building strong, authentic relationships. Texting or messaging someone doesn't quite capture the emotional depth that a real conversation does. This can sometimes lead to misunderstandings.
Exactly, Thomas. Despite its advantages, social media can sometimes create an illusion of closeness where people believe they're connecting with others, but in reality, they're just skimming the surface. This can leave individuals feeling lonely. Even when they have many online friends, it's important to differentiate between quantity and quality in relationships.
You've hit the nail on the head, Jennifer. While social media offers the opportunity to meet like-minded people, it doesn't always provide the same emotional fulfillment that in-person interactions do. Often, online conversations can be brief and lack the deep conversations that are essential for building meaningful connections. The challenge is finding balance.
And that balance is critical, Thomas. We've seen a shift toward digital friendships, which are sometimes more about convenience than actual bonding. People may feel more comfortable texting or posting online, but these connections may lack the vulnerability that face-to-face interactions often foster. Vulnerability is key in building trust.
I couldn't agree more. Vulnerability is the cornerstone of genuine relationships. When we share our true selves with others, it builds trust and fosters emotional intimacy. Online platforms sometimes encourage carefully curated content where users only show their best selves. This can lead to comparisons and feelings of inadequacy, especially when others seem to have perfect lives.
That's so true, Thomas. Social media often glorifies perfection, making it difficult for people to feel comfortable showing their flaws. This pressure can be overwhelming, especially for younger generations who are still figuring out their sense of self. Social media can become an arena for self-promotion rather than authentic self-expression, which can harm mental health.
Absolutely, and that's where social media can affect relationships too. If you feel like you must present a perfect version of yourself, it can make you hesitant to open up to those around you. It creates a barrier between you and your loved ones. The authenticity we crave in relationships is sometimes harder to find when we're concerned with how we're being perceived.
And there's also the issue of communication overload. In today's digital world, we're constantly bombarded with messages, notifications, and updates. This can lead to information fatigue and can make it harder for people to focus on meaningful conversations. When we're juggling multiple online platforms, it can feel like we don't have enough time or energy for real, in-depth communication.
Exactly, Jennifer, the sheer volume of digital communication can be overwhelming. Sometimes it feels like we're always on and constantly required to respond. This can put pressure on our social interactions and make us feel disconnected from the people in our immediate surroundings. It's important to disconnect occasionally to reconnect in a meaningful way.
Absolutely, and social media also affects how we handle conflict in relationships. Online interactions often lack the nuances of tone, leading to misinterpretation of messages. When disagreements or misunderstandings occur online, it can escalate quickly because there's no chance to read body language or hear the voice behind the message.
That's a significant issue. Jennifer, people may feel more comfortable saying things online that they wouldn't say in person. It can lead to impulsive reactions or hurtful comments that can be difficult to take back. Conflict resolution is much more effective when done face-to-face, where empathy and understanding can play a bigger role in de-escalating situations.
Right, Thomas. The challenge becomes maintaining healthy communication in the digital age. Social media has allowed for faster communication, but it hasn't necessarily taught us how to communicate more effectively. It's crucial to use these platforms mindfully and prioritize face-to-face conversations whenever possible. These are the moments when true connection happens.
That's exactly the key point, Jennifer. Social media should be used to enhance relationships, not replace them. It can help us stay in touch, share meaningful moments, and celebrate important milestones, but it shouldn't substitute for genuine, offline relationships. Authentic connection requires effort, vulnerability, and patience, things that are easier to cultivate in person.
And I think it's important to recognize the positive aspects of social media too. It can bring people together for causes, share important social justice movements, and create communities based on shared interests. However, if we focus solely on its benefits, we might overlook the negative aspects that affect our personal lives and relationships.
I agree. Jennifer, social media has brought about many positive changes, from global awareness to connecting people across cultures. But we need to be mindful of its impact on our mental and emotional well-being, especially when it comes to how we manage relationships. It's important to prioritize quality over quantity in our online connections.
That's the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? The power of social media is in how we choose to use it. If we approach it with intention, we can create meaningful connections, stay informed, and support one another. But if we allow it to replace authentic relationships, we risk losing something incredibly valuable in the process.
Exactly, Jennifer. Social media can be a powerful tool for good if used wisely. It's up to each of us to ensure that our online interactions don't diminish the quality of our in-person relationships. The future of communication will depend on how we navigate this balance and use these platforms to complement, not replace, genuine human connection.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. We've explored the various ways social media influences our daily lives, from enhancing communication to creating challenges in maintaining genuine relationships. We hope this discussion has given you some food for thought and ideas on how to use social media more mindfully.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Social media is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it's all about how we use it. By staying intentional, prioritizing real-world connections, and being mindful of our habits, we can make the most of it without letting it negatively impact our lives. Thank you for joining us today.
If you enjoyed today's episode and found it helpful, please subscribe to our podcast, share it with your friends, and leave us a review. Your support helps us keep creating content for English learners worldwide. And don't forget to follow us on social media for positive and educational content, of course.
We love hearing from you, so feel free to send us your questions, feedback, or suggestions for future topics. You can reach us through email or our social media channels. Until next time, keep practicing your English, stay connected, and make meaningful conversations a priority in your life.
Thanks again for tuning in. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep improving your English skills. This has been Jennifer and Thomas with Learn English with Podcast Conversation. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye for now. Keep learning and growing, and remember, every small step counts toward your English fluency. Take care, everyone.